Start of a holiday weekend here in Denver, Colorado, as the Rockies get ready to match up with divisional foe, the San Francisco Giants, here at Coors Field. In the National League West, the surprising San Diego Padres still have the advantage. The Rockies sit a half game in front of the Giants. You're starting to reach the point where those divisional games take on even more significance. Hello, everybody. Jack Corrigan from 850 KOA Radio, sitting in for Drew Goodman tonight, along with George Frazier. And, George, we're going to see a Giants team tonight that has not played of late to the expectations a lot of people had for them.
Well, you're absolutely right. They've lost 9 of their last 12, Jack. They are 0-5 in their last 5 ball games. They haven't swung the bats at all. I mean, you start to look back at this ball club and the struggles that they've had. It all comes down to hitting the baseball and scoring runs when they need to. I mean, over a 5-game span one time this year, scored 3 runs. They got shut out. I think Pat Burrell's made a difference for them, though, in their lineup. He's gotten hot. He's in left field. They're hoping to get some pop out of some guys in the lineup. Uribe, Renteria, who have pretty good. Huff moves over to first. So I think they're looking for that. They're always going to have the pitching staff, even though Lincecum has struggled and Kane has struggled of late. But don't count these guys out.
Well, without question, don't count these guys out when it comes to pitching. I think you can say that in terms of the Rockies as well. Some great pitching matchups throughout this holiday weekend. We'll take a look in greater detail when we come back. Great pitching, so the matchups throughout the weekend should be wonderful.
Well, they're going to be great, Jack, and anytime you can see a 2-time Cy Young Award winner come out and go against your Rockies, I think that's exciting to come watch. Lincecum Zito, who has turned it around after a couple of tough years, 7-4, 343. And then Matt Cain, it's a mystery to everyone how he doesn't win 20 games every year with his stuff. Madison Bumgarner, the young rookies going out tonight, a guy that was drafted in 07, big, strong left-hander. And again, this is a guy 34-6 in the minor leagues. He deserves the opportunity.
Not too bad a mark indeed. Another member of our broadcast team again here tonight is Alana Rizzo. Alana, what do you have for us?
All right, Jack, thanks very much. Well, it's Rocks the Vote. Time is running out to send your Colorado Rockies to the All-Star game. I'll update you on that. And also Tulo time. Troy Tulowitzki back with his teammates and making great progress. I'll give you an update on Troy as well, guys.
All right, Alana, thank you very much. 4th of July weekend. No better place than to be at the ballpark. The Rockies and the Giants coming up next. By Quest, high-speed internet. Get blazing fast speeds that won't burn up your wallet. E470, quick, easy, and available to anyone. Test drive it today. Ford Escape, so much fun, so little fuel. Ford Escape, drive one, and buy Brakes Plus. A whole lot more. Back here at Coors Field, we'll have a big crowd tonight, and of course, the fireworks shows tomorrow night and Saturday night, and then the actual 4th of July holiday. Aaron Cook, who has enjoyed pitching at Coors Field, well, really throughout his career, but especially this year, George, and an opportunity to build on what might have been his best performance of the season, best command, it appeared, and Aaron said so, talking to him in San Diego after the home run, unfortunately, by Matsui.
Maybe he got upset because after that he looked like he really attacked the strike zone. He was snatching the ball from the catcher. He was disappointed in what had transpired, so he wanted to come out and prove something, and he did. 4 hits in that 8-inning ball game. And again, it was a loss, but yet it was a gain for Aaron Cook the way he pitched on the road. You mentioned home numbers, 2-0 here at Coors Field, 240 earned run average, 33-25 lifetime.
He'll look at a Giants lineup that is headed up by Aaron Rowan, pushed back into the leadoff spot by Bruce Bochy in yesterday's game with the Dodgers. Renteria will be at short. George talked about Huff moving back to first base. Pat Burrell, we haven't seen him in a Giants uniform. Sandoval, Uribe, Buster Posey doing the catching. Nate Schierholtz in right field, and the youngster Madison Bumgarner on the mound to face Aaron Cook.
This young left-hander, and it's going to be a pretty good challenge for the Rockies. Aaron Cook tonight going on the mound for the Rockies, looking to extend that good home streak that he's run. 2-5 record, 4.69 ERA. Fastball 88.92. The curve has become the friend, 72 to 80 miles an hour, along with his slider.
That's the scouting report on Aaron Cook. Our defense brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. The Rockies will have Carlos Gonzalez in left field tonight and Spilly in right. The infield defense features Melvin Mora at third base. Miguel Olivo will be behind the plate. Our first pitch tonight brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Text keyword pizza followed by a space in your name to 95323 to receive your Domino's special offer and to be entered to win a pizza party for 15. One weekly winner will be chosen. Aaron Rowan in the leadoff spot for the first time since mid-May yesterday, and he had 3 hits in the ball game in the loss to the Dodgers. So
one home run against a guy that, and the important part of that, they thought that a lot of people with the Giants did. It was against Padilla, who had hit him in the face.
Pitch is a strike to begin the ball game for Aaron Cook. Shadows will be a factor here early on. And that foul ball caught Miguel Olivo. Boy, Miguel's been getting whacked behind the plate with even more regularity than you would expect for a catcher.
Well, I think part of the reason behind that, Jack, is there's so much movement on the fastball from the Rockies pitching staff. So you see a lot of balls that just get nipped. They don't get thrown by guys, so obviously they got to land somewhere.
Got him with a good breaking ball, and that's the way Aaron Cook wants to start the evening.
As it looked onto the forward strike zone, you stay out of the middle of the plate, you work to entice down, and you get good results. And that's exactly what happened for Aaron Cook on a 75-mile-an-hour curveball. 3-0, 199 earned run average in his last 8 starts at Coors Field. All-time win leader for the Rockies with 33 wins at Coors.
Edgar Renteria soft chop to second. Johnny Herrera takes care of Renteria. Well, you might be able to script it better, but a 3-pitch strikeout and a soft ground ball, I don't know you could do any better than that to begin.
Nice way to start. 4 pitches, 4 strikes.
.85 degrees at first pitch here tonight. Wind not really a factor. We had some cloud cover during batting practice, but the skies have brightened again. Aubrey Huff now back at first base. He is their top home run hitter with a dozen, along with Juan Uribe. Talk about this, the Giants team really having its problems on offense. 1-1 on Aaron Cook. They knew that a little bit. There's Pat Burrell, the newcomer to the group, but I don't think collectively they anticipated this.
Well, I don't think they did either. They made the trade to get rid of Molina over to the Texas Rangers to get a relief pitcher back and Michael Ray, and they also got Michael Maine, a first-round draft pick, back in that trade. Bruce Bochy needs offense, and they're looking for bats, but just who else in baseball is not looking for a bat?
Offensive numbers down throughout the game right now. 2-1 pitch to Huff.
Well, things have started to happen for Molina. You wonder if it's all the innings caught. The first couple of years out in San Francisco, he had 278, 18 home runs, 85 RBIs, an average. That was the average for him over those 3-year period. And this year he'd had 3 home runs, 17 RBIs, and just hit 250.
Huff draws the walk. He's the best on this Giants club in that regard. So a 2-out base runner for Pat Burrell, the former Philly, who went to Tampa Bay and just never seemed to fit in with the Rays. Performing well in a Giants uniform.
Has had a lot of success against Aaron Cook for some reason. 12 for 19 in his career.
He'll hit a 2-hopper to short. Barmes the short way, and that's how the Rockies' Aaron Cook takes care of the Giants in the first. Rockies coming to bat. Aaron Cook, now Dexter Fowler, and the Rockies will see what they can do against the youngster Madison Bumgarner. Dexter back from AAA. He'll lead off tonight for Jim Tracy. The rest of the Rockies order: Todd Helton in his 2 spot now. Carlos Gonzalez at left field tonight. Melvin Moore is going to get the cleanup spot. Spielborgs, Olivo, Barmes, another switch hitter in Herrera besides Fowler, and then Aaron Cook. So just one left-handed hitter, Todd Helton, in the starting lineup. And Gonzalez, excuse me.
And Gonzalez, but Bumgarner very, very difficult against left-handers. 88-93, slider 81-84, changeup 80-83. Throws across his body a little bit, kind of an odd angle coming out of the glove. Short arms the ball at times. Very impressive youngster. #1 draft pick in 2007. He was the 10th pick overall in the draft. #1 that year, David Price. 34-6 in the minor leagues. Wow.
And he'll get the first pitch of the game over to Dexter Fowler. Dexter looking for his first hit since his recall. He's had a couple of walks. Sandoval up on the grass at third. Would his funky delivery, George, be even more difficult under the shadow and sun that we're looking at right now?
No question. Even when you're not a hard thrower, obviously, when you're able to move the ball from side to side, you're trying to pick it up, but by the time you pick it up, it's there.
Into center field. It's going to drop in front of Rowan, and the Rockies leadoff man is aboard. Let's look at the Mercedes-Benz defense for manager Bruce Bochy. Burrell does not cover a lot of ground in left. That'll put extra pressure on Rowan in center field. Renteria and Uribe. No Freddie Sanchez in the lineup tonight at second. And Buster Posey now the catcher with the trade of Benji Molina. And George and I are going to talk about that issue as Todd fouls off the first pitch.
Well, I think it's going to be difficult. I mean, he's a young catcher. And I'm not sure he really wants to catch. I think he wants to play first base. A year ago in September when he got called up, all the anticipation of being the Golden Spikes Award, which is equivalent to the Heisman Trophy in college. He caught 4 games in September. And here you are halfway through the season, and he's caught 2.
Yeah, he felt much more comfortable. And actually, I thought it played a pretty good defensive first base.
I did, too. I thought he played very smart defensively at first base, improved there. It's probably as much as a shock to him it is Molina that he got traded.
1-1 is out of the strike zone. 2-1 on Todd, and the Giants didn't even know if the deal was going to go through because Texas, of course, is going through the bankruptcy issues with their current owner Tom Hicks. And they've got Fowler. The throw to second is not in time. good slide to the outfield side by Dexter. Although Renteria didn't agree.
Brian Gorman is the second base umpire. And Uribe's telling him he missed it, and he's telling Uribe, go back to shortstop if you want to see the top half of the second. The pickoff's there. Quick exchange. Dexter's feet, though, got to the outside part of the bag. You'll see, watch his foot come in. It hits the bag as he pops up, and Uribe tagged him on the knee.
Bruce Bochy's still arguing about it. Some of it, George, was how deliberate Bumgarner was on the throw over to first to Huff.
Well, a lot of times you're taught in the minor league, so make sure you're under control when you make that throw to first base. So what happens is it slows everybody's motion down because they feel that they have the ability to go ahead and make the work. Huh? Didn't work that time. Dexter at second base.
Stolen base number 7 for Dexter. And watch what I was referring to. He's almost 2/3 of the way to second before Huff even gets rid of the ball.
Yeah, Boat's disappointed. He can't believe it. He knows he's going to go out and argue it. Part of that is they've lost 9 of 12 and lost their last 5 ball games.
2-1 to Helton is upstairs. Well, just what you want to do against a youngster as well. Put him under some heat right at the outset.
Well, and you wonder, too, who's he turned to in this ball club? What's it like to pitch at Coors Field? Because he'd never even faced the Rockies before.
Bumgarner will throw to first, but Fowler is able to wait till the throw is made and advance to third. So Todd with the little dribbler on the changeup, not able to get a hit, but Dexter advances.
Well, the smart thing Dexter does when this ball's hit out front, he freezes. He's going back and forth. Well, as soon as he saw Bumgarner go ahead and commit to first base, easy for him to make up that 70 feet and get to third.
Rockies with a chance for an early advantage, and they've got their best RBI man at the plate. Carlos with 46 to pace the ball club. And good numbers on the year against left-handed pitching. And that's why. Does Rowan have room? You can let it go. Touch of all time for Carlos Gonzalez. The Rockies lead it 2-0.
First time the Rockies organization has seen Madison Bumgarner, and he's not liking what he's getting to see right now. Fastball down and away. Seemed to cut a little bit on Gonzalez, and he's very aggressive with the first swing, first pitch. And it's paid off for him all year long. 13 home runs, 48 RBIs. That ball, Jack, got out of here in a hurry.
I was going to say, my only question was, it was hit so well, would it stay up long enough to get over the wall? Rockies with the early advantage. Well, Melvin Mora hitting cleanup today. Renteria. Good stop. Huff handles it at first, dealing with that sunshine over there. 2 away. George talked about it. The Giants have dropped 9 of 12, including 5 in a row. And their offense has not been very productive. And as a result, their pitching hasn't been as sharp, perhaps feeling like they have to be near perfect.
Well, I would agree with you. And again, when the pitching starts to falter, and that's been your anchor of the ball club, and you start to struggle, the players, that starts to bring them down. Adds even more pressure than the pitcher knowing he's got to go out and throw a 1-0 shutout. But if he has that hiccup, pressure put on the offense even more.
1 ball, 1 strike on Ryan Spilborghs. Ryan in right field tonight. One and 2. Good run to that fastball. Might have been high in the zone, but ran away from Spilborghs.
His velocity has dropped since signing. He was a 94 to 97 mile an hour left-hander coming out of North Carolina is that #1 pick. He has gotten a little bit better command of his pitches, even though he's giving up a little velocity. It's all about location.
Gets the strikeout of Ryan Spilborghs, but Carlos Gonzalez first. Half of the 13 homers, just a little more, 7 of the 13 by Cargo have given the Rockies a lead, and he does it again here tonight. Pablo Sandoval will lead it off against Aaron Cook. And Cookie gets ahead 0-1. When we talk about some of the Giants' offensive issues, you have to start with this guy.
He struggled, and I think they expected just monster numbers from him. And I think part of his hitting was a lot of balls like that ball hit there just stayed inside and were fair balls. Now all of a sudden they're foul, and he finds himself in a lot of pitchers' counts. He struggled offensively this year.
Switch hitter, and especially having troubles hitting right-handed. He's hitting lefty obviously here against Cook. 1-2 the count on Pablo now.
Yeah, quite a difference than what a year was. 338, 11 home runs, 40 RBIs July 1st of 09. And then July 1st of 2010, 274, 6 and 30. 10 behind the RBI totals, but the average down nearly 60 points.
2-2 on Sandoval. Well, the number that really jumps out, he was such a good clutch hitter for them last year. Likewise, Benji Molina, and both those guys not doing it this year. Molina traded last night. Uribe and Posey will follow here in the San Francisco second. Boy, what a pretty night here at Coors Field. And Sandoval's going to have the first hit of the game for San Francisco. A leadoff single here in the second as we head to Alana Rizzo for tonight's Great Colorado Payback Sideline Report.
All right, Jack, thanks very much. Quickly wanted to remind fans to get on their computer and vote. This night is the last night you can vote to send your Rockies to the All-Star game in Anaheim up until 9:59 Mountain Time. Carlos Gonzalez and Miguel Olivo deserving to be there, and they're both only going to get in whether it's peer voting, fan voting, or if Charlie Manuel from the Phillies actually calls them himself to invite them. Ubaldo Jimenez obviously will be there. Carlos and Olivo both having the numbers to earn them a right to Anaheim, guys.
All right, Alana, thank you very much. Juan Uribe, the former Rocky, has probably been the surprise. We talk about the Giants' struggles offensively. Uribe's been better than they hoped.
Well, he has been. I mean, and is he a surprise? He is for me. Leader in RBIs, home runs for this ball club. I mean, you know, here's what gets me. You watch him hit. And being a former pitcher, you look, how would you pitch him? And I look at it, he bails so bad with his front side. In other words, his foot steps towards third base bag, yet guys think they can still jam him. And he just buries balls into the seats in left field or into the gap in left center.
He starts with that stance closed, but as George pointed out, big step open as the pitch comes to the plate. And he's one of those guys almost like Dustin Pedroia, who does it even more, but it's like, I'm going to swing as hard as I can, as big as I can, because if I hit it, watch it go.
Yeah, I hit it, and it's going to be hit hard.
Rockies at double play depth, obviously, on the infield. And Aaron Cook can induce those double plays as well as anybody. 2-2. Uribe on the season has grounded into 10 double plays. The Giants have grounded into 84 double plays in 77 games.
Well, you look at their lineup, they don't have a lot of base stealers outside of Torres. That's why you see a ball on the ground. And they have, see, that's what we're talking.
Great stop by Mora. They'll get the lead runner. What a play by Melvin Mora.
Part of that is all about positioning. And where Mora was to be able to get to this baseball, because and Richie Dyer's a guy you got to credit. See how close he is to the line than normal, because typically he's off the line. But knowing that Uribe's such a pull hitter, it allows him to take those steps closer to the line, and it's a one-step dive, and then from the knee, a snap throw to Johnny Herrera.
Sandoval retired. Uribe becomes the base runner now for Buster Posey.
Yeah, he's starting to struggle a little bit with his bat. That was the one thing everybody talked about when he was drafted in the draft. And
he's going to get a base hit here. Yeah. Aaron Cook got the ground ball, but right back up the middle, and Posey gets the second single of the inning. The Giants have 2 on with a man out. Posey had been 0 for his last 13 before that base hit. It'll bring up another left-handed hitter, Nate Schierholtz. Schierholtz in the lineup in part, in a very small sample, but a guy who has hit Aaron Cook well. Bruce Bochy trying everything he can to try and get his offense reignited.
I've always liked Schierholtz. I thought he's a pretty good hitter, decent outfielder, to get a good arm, but just doesn't get a chance. A consistent chance to play every day.
Hey, look, this is his 67th game. He's only batted 135 times.
A lot of pinch hitting, a lot of late inning replacements, you know, in a double switch, and he goes into the outfield for the defensive side of things.
Helton knocks it down, recovers, can't make a play, and the bases are loaded. Another ball pulled. Todd on the line nearly came up with it.
Tried to backhand this baseball. You're not thinking about him pulling that hard sinker down and away, but he does just that. Hits out of the palm. Helton finds the baseball. He tries to flip it over to Aaron Cook. Lost control of it. Cook alertly grabbed the baseball and then checked the plate. Don't forget about fireworks the next couple of nights here at Coors Field. One of the best shows you will see in all of baseball. That's the next 2 nights while the Giants are in town, Friday and Saturday.
Bumgarner, the pitcher, is the hitter now, but this is a guy in high school anyway, might have been as highly drafted for his offense as his pitching prowess.
Be careful. He's a guy that's got power. Bruce Bochy has used him as a pinch hitter this year.
Only 1 out. Rockies up 2, but the Giants with a threat.
Well, in 4 at-bats in his career, this year is 1 for 2 in that one ball game, but in his career, 1 for 4. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but what Jack's talking about. double-digit home runs his senior year in high school.
Down in North Carolina. He's a big guy, probably 6'5", 230, 225 anyway.
A little bigger. You're being nice. I'm going to say like 240. This kid's really gotten very well put together after signing and going through their developmental program.
1 ball and 1 strike, the count. 4 balls that have been squared up a little bit against Aaron Cook. A good play by Mora to get an out. A good play by Helton to nearly get an out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That foul ball sounded like it caught Miguel Olivo. It hit somebody.
Yeah, it caught something.
Caught glove, it looked like. Oh. It caught a piece of the
steel-toed shoes. The umpires.
That's what we heard.
Yeah.
Ted Barrett's steel-toed shoes. Cook could use a strikeout or a ground ball right at somebody here. Aaron's 1-2. Got him. Look out. Second strikeout for Aaron Cook. And unfortunately, those railings and netting that they put in front of dugouts now, when you were playing, George, that would have scattered the troops.
That would have scattered the troops, and the white towels would have come out. You had surrendered. There wasn't any reason to fire any more pellets into the dugout.
Gets that big second out, but now has to deal with Rowan, who has had numbers against Aaron. A little hotter of late. Cook got him on a breaking ball to strike him out last inning. Aaron's going to pitch from the stretch. That's what you want to do, get ahead 0-1. Giants struggling. Rockies, you can see on that list as well, trying to come up with those 2-out hits. Aaron Cook trying to foil them again. And he gets ahead 0-2, and Olivo goes down again.
Pretty good shot. Man, he took that time. So you really wanted to be a catcher? Let's talk about it. Maybe I wanted to be a third baseman. On the Hyundai cam, you're going to see the slider start to work away, and then it's just the hard bounce that catch you on the inner thigh. Just not much fun.
Well, with Miguel, if you can pass a kidney stone and not get out of the ball game, you're a pretty tough guy.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Well, Aaron now with a variety of options ahead, 2 strikes. Trying to leave him loaded. The 0-2.
Good thought process on an 0-2 count, elevated fastball. 4 strike zone, but it's up to where it's difficult to do something with away, and it had good velocity at 94 from Cook.
I was going to say, a lot of giddy up tonight so far for Aaron.
Well, they go back to the curveball that they used earlier to strike him out with.
They tried it, and Rowan hit it foul.
You just hope when you get one like that hit off of you, it just go foul. I think Aaron Rowan, he knew it when it left the bat, it was going to hook foul. I know Cook did. Your heart thumps for a second, and then you realize, all right, he got the bat out too much in front, and this ball's going to hook out into foul territory. So I'll just ask for a ball and forget about it. Just a loud strike.
You get a chance to get him again. And this chopper up the middle is going to get through. It'll score a pair, and the Giants tie the game. Aaron Rowan with a seeing eye single up the middle.
Well, I'm not sure Johnny Herrera started to go in and slowed down on the ball because he thought Clint Barmes was going to get it and he would have to retreat back to second to catch the throw. Sinker down and away. I mean, from high home, you'll get a look where Herrera came. Now watch how he starts to go after the ball. See how he hesitated a little bit? I think he got caught in between of whether thinking that, you know, if Barmes gets to that ball, I got to retreat back to second. That's going to be the only play for a force out.
Two men score, Uribe and Posey. Shearholtz goes to third. Giants answer the Rockies 2 with 2 of their own, and now it's Renteria.
His RBI production has dropped as his career has progressed, but he had 100 RBIs one year with the Cardinals and an All-Star that year.
He's been on the DL twice this season for the Giants. That's what's enabled all the regular playing time for Juan Uribe between Renteria and Sanchez being on the DL. 2 balls and no strikes. Alan Aaron, with the exception of the leadoff single by Sandoval, all the other hits have gone through the infield. They've been ground ball hits. But that's some of the difficulty when you are a guy who pitches to contact.
It is, and you're going to have some balls that squeak through the hole, much like what happened to him in Minnesota that night. 26 pitch thrown in the inning, though, after for Aaron early on, just 10 pitches to get through the first. Well, the first went by like it's supposed to. Second, just ran into a little bit of a roadblock here for Cook.
Still can get out with no worse than a tie if he can get Renteria. Oh, they almost got Rowan.
I wonder if he hesitated on a snap throw to first because of the sun looking at help.
I think that's exactly the case.
He faked back, and then Rowan was getting a little bit bigger walking lead. And in the back of the mind, Aaron Cook thinking, I'll tighten up his lead a little bit to keep him from getting in a scoring position. I don't think he was comfortable throwing it over there.
Now that's something that pitching here all the time, he's got that familiarity. Aaron would know situation like that with the youngster Bumgarner pitching here for the first time. He might let it go.
He may, absolutely, and work it up high. Watch Renteria's front foot as he comes up on his toes. A lot of times inside fastball. So he had the first move back. Rowan to get a stolen base for Aaron Rowan on the season. His second.
They're trying to be aggressive, knowing their offense has not had a lot of success. And Rowan got a real good jump. And no question that Miguel Olivo in that circumstance was not going to throw.
And why not be aggressive with, unfortunately, the way their ball club is played.
Payoff pitch. Moore has got it. And that will end the inning. But the Giants tie it on a 2-out hit by Aaron Rowan. Middle of 2. We're tied at 2. available to anyone. Test drive it today. E470 is going to take you to Lodog as the Rockies are going to be on a long homestand here the rest of the weekend with the Giants after the off day on Monday. Our first look at Albert Pujols, Matt Holliday, and the St. Louis Cardinals next week here at the corner of 20th and Blake. Miguel Olivo leads off the Rockies second against Madison Bumgarner, who gave up a single to Dexter Fowler and a 2-run homer to Carlos Gonzalez. Terrific numbers there for the Rockies catcher. Certainly worthy of all-star consideration when you match him up with the other National League catchers. He's right there with all of them offensively, and then of course the great numbers throwing out base runners. Bumgarner working the outside part of the plate, gets ahead 1-2. The 1-2. Foul tipped into the glove of Buster Posey. And Bumgarner gets his second strikeout. Who wants tacos? Well, fans, remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more during any game, you can go to a participating Colorado Taco Bell location the next day between 4 and 6 p.m. and get your Rockies tacos special. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Clint Barmes will look at a strike from the youngster, who at least is pounding the strike zone here in the early going.
He has done that. I will say that. And again, that's the one pitch they've worked on with him, the changeup, because he'd always been such a power guy. What's hard for me to picture, though, Jeff, is their minor league roving pitching coordinator is Lee Smith.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine, and it's a teammate of mine, I can't imagine Lee teaching anybody the changeup. The only thing he knew was a 95-mile-an-hour heater and a 90-mile-an-hour slider.
Yeah, hard, harder, hardest. That was the MO of Lee Smith. Bobbled by Uribe, but with that shortstop throwing arm, he still had time to get Clint Barmes for the second out. John Herrera in the 8th spot this evening. That foul ball up the third base side. As a switch hitter, Herrera much better numbers from the left side, although yesterday he got his first extra base hit hitting right-handed. 2-run double. 2 strikes on Herrera.
One thing you notice about Johnny Herrera, now he feels, I think, just by his appearance and the way he plays, he belongs. And he's much more comfortable in the game now. Rockies 14-12 so far in the season versus left-handed bats.
One of the rare times inside with a fastball by Bumgarner. 1-2. Outfield cheats in, especially Rowan out there in right center. 2-2. Pitching's going to be good all weekend in this series. Lincecum, Zito, and Kane the next 3 games for the Giants. Chacin, Jimenez, Hamill for the Rockies. Good off-speed pitch there, and that's a 3rd strikeout for Bumgarner. We've played 2, and we're tied at 2. Rocks 1 for sleeves, Rocks 2 for no sleeves. And Rockies have at least a few pitchers who really like the sleeveless look. So let's see what you think about it.
Personally, I kind of like the sleeveless. It adds a little flair to it. I think players like wearing it. It's a little cooler uniform. Don't have something hanging down to your elbow.
Aubrey Huff walked his first time up, and Aaron Cook misses with the first 2 to the left-handed hitting first baseman. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Giants, 2 runs on 2 hits for the Rockies. Past Roberto Kelly and on down the line. There's Roberto. Long big league career with a number of clubs, an outfielder.
Very accomplished outfielder.
Still looks like he could play. 2 hopper on the big bounce to John Herrera. And Huff is out, number 1. Pat Burrell, the hitter now.
A lot of struggles for him. Tampa, but they seem to start to get straightened out a little bit. Cheating on the fastball here and here. The ball up and away from him. Power into right center.
The Amica hit zone. It's not how you're covered, it's how you're treated. Look at ball 1. He hit into a fielder's choice. Easy play to end the first inning. This is line foul.
Fans have made some nice plays today. Everybody bringing their gloves along that first and third base line, coming to the ballpark. This ball's hit pretty hard by Burrow. He's out front of it. It's hooking it. It's 1, 2, and is it going to hit the wall? No, got Brett McGlough.
A little snow cone, but came away with it.
Absolutely did.
Two balls in the strike, says Ted Barrett. Again, the Rockies anticipating Burrell pulling the ball more close to the line. Had some very fine years with the Phillies. This one will stay fair. No, foul ball.
Moore did everything he could to try to keep this thing and snatch it before it got to that third base bag. But that last hop that it got there, it just got on the left side of the line and ended up being empty-handed. You don't have to rush your throws if Burrell hits it on the ground in the infield. He does not have blazing speed.
Paul Nart, the third base umpire, made that call because it went foul as it was going by the bag. Full count now on Burrell. You mentioned some good numbers in Philadelphia, but the fans never really warmed up to Pat. I think they always expected more, even though he was a very solid player.
I never could figure out why either. I mean, maybe it was the defensive side of things where balls got dropped or didn't make throws that they thought he should have made, but he always was very productive. And with that new ballpark, particularly that short porch in left field, I mean, the ball just flies out of there.
I think the Phillies would have entertained some thoughts of him staying, but the money Tampa Bay offered was enough to entice him to leave.
Well, the first year they got Ibanez, too. That really, the job he did for them the very first year. The Phillies was wonderful. They struggled of late.
Yeah, they didn't really miss a beat at all as Ibanez stepped in for Burrell in left field. A challenge for the Phillies now. Chase Utley's going to have surgery on that thumb damage. This is hit well to left center field. Gonzalez able to cut it off, and it'll hold, or make that Fowler, excuse me, get so used to having Carlos out there. Dexter with the good cutoff, and just as George said, because of it, you hold Burrell to a long single. Good play by Dexter.
Absolutely. And you've got a lot of speed in this outfield tonight with Gonzalez and left, Fowler and Spilborghs, and all with fairly good arms. Plus arm in left and right, and above average in center field with Fowler.
Tim Tracy says, when I have this defensive alignment, I have 3 center fielders.
Well, you got to agree with him. I mean, because Spielberg's has played there when Gonzalez had the hamstring issue a week ago.
Aaron really missed the target with that first pitch. Sandoval line drive single to center field his first time up. 5 hits in the game for the Giants. Got the outside corner that time, 1-1.
If a ball's anywhere near the strike zone with Sandoval up, it's really unusual to see him not take a hack at it. I guess when it's out of the strike zone, it's not really unusual to see him throw one up. You can see where that ball missed on the second pitch.
So Aaron will gladly take that from Ted Barrett.
I think the fourth strike zone is very good because it does reveal an umpire's strike zone. If he's going to give you the outside corner or off of the plate a little bit.
We have some teams now building their scouting reports around umpire rotations too. Well, you can't really do much about who your starter is. Does Olivo have room? No. 1-2 on Sandoval. You can repair that chip in your windshield. All you have to do is call Safelite Elite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000 or go online at safelite.com. But don't you think, George, was just as you were saying, if you're preparing for a game and you go, okay, Ted Barrett's a guy going to maybe have a little wider outside corner, I've got to protect out there.
Well, it absolutely does for the hitter and for the pitcher. You know, I'm not going to pitch inside as often because he's letting me take the ball off the plate.
Strike 3 called right there again. Third strikeout for Aaron Cook, out number 2.
And Barrett's a very good ball strike umpire, and he's going to exhibit it right here because this is a pitch that Cook needed to make, and he made it. Is it off the plate on the fourth strike zone? Absolutely it is. How far off of the plate? Not a whole lot. We're talking about 1 inch to 2 inches at the most. Sandoval didn't like it. Barrett did.
Well, and I like that the 2 called strikes, the fourth strike zone, those were right on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, and again, if an umpire knows what you're going to try to do, I mean, I honestly believe that's why Matting's, Glavine, and Smoltz, when they were in Atlanta, they had a game plan they stuck to for 34 starts. And umpires knew they're going to work away from hitters, whether it's left or right-handed. And they had the ability to do it. And by having that ability, they got strikes called.
One ball, 1 strike on Juan Uribe now, who was robbed of a hit on a diving stop by Melvin Mora at third base that was turned into a fielder's choice.
Well, every swing, Jack talked about it, swing as hard as he can swing. That's exactly what he does. Loses the grip on the bottom half of that bat.
Feet are moving.
Yeah. Now watch this foot up front when the ball approaches the plate. It's going to make a left turn pretty quick, but he's going to look for a ball on that middle half in.
And Cook trying to go middle away, and Aaron just not able to find it at the moment.
And again, this is his danger zone. You get right in here, he's going to burn you.
Roll the runner at first with 2 outs.
See how every one of those pitches, and that ball's on the outer third, and it actually hit the very end of the bat. Because his motion goes here and then here. And this ball's, you know, I mean, you're looking at it, that pitch is near the strike zone, and it's off the end of the bat because he can't do much with it. Just don't make a mistake on that inner half, though.
They set up inside, but that was a bluff. He goes to right field, but Spilly is there. Middle of 3 here in Denver. The Rockies and Giants tied at 2. Jolton Joe DiMaggio was on this date in 41 that he tied Wee Willie Keeler's consecutive game hit streak with 44 on his way to 56. Stopped by Ken Keltner of the Indians with 3 magnificent plays, and then after the streak ended, he went and had 15, 16 more in a row. Aaron Cook leads off the Rockies half of the third. Aaron doing a good job with the bat, hitting .240 on the year. Bumgarner with 3 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. And he gets ahead of Cook. I will say this, George, he has a very easy motion.
He has very easy motion, very mechanical. When he mechanically sound, right there the leg comes up. The only thing he does crossfire across that body.
Renteria throws out Cook. He slipped as he was setting his foot, but still had time to get Aaron. First out here in the Rockies half of the third. Our Quest high-speed pitch, you see so far these guys in the low to almost mid-90s. 94 for Aaron Cooks, a little higher than we have seen at times. All that brought to you by Quest, the high-speed internet provider of the Rockies. Dexter Fowler singled to lead off the ball game. Looked like he was going to get picked off, but beat the throw to second for a stolen base and scored on the Carlos Gonzalez home run. He hits this one pretty well to left center field. Rowan won't catch up to it. It'll one-hop the wall. Dexter digging for 3. The throw is not in time. Number 4 for Dexter Fowler in the 3-base category.
Now those long strides, he saw that ball get out into the gap and made up his mind very early on the 4th strike zone. Cutter that worked to the middle of the plate. Bumgarner, only thing he's thinking about is it going to stay in the ballpark. He just happened to hit it to the deepest part of Coors Field in left center field, and then it was off to the races. Rowan versus Fowler, and Fowler won the race. Man, look at those strides. They just get longer and longer and longer. And that one look over the shoulder, realized he had it made.
Now the Rockies with a chance to regain the lead and show you how the Giants feel about things with their offense. They've got the infield in.
Well, with 1 out, Madison Bumgarner is in the windup.
And now Posey's going to head to the mound as it's 2-0 on Todd Helton. The triple by Dexter, as I mentioned, his 4th of the season. The Rockies lead the National League in 3-base hits with 24. Olivo, Smith, Gonzalez, and Fowler all have 4 triples.
Well, I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's looked into the on-deck circle, starting to pressure some of these pitches to Todd Helton and missing with him. Fell behind 2-1. That fastball at 91 called a strike, but Gonzalez with that 422-foot home run. Back in the 1st inning.
Gets back to even against Helton, 2-2.
Young catcher behind the plate, young pitcher on the mound. See if they try to go fastball away and maybe try to outsmart Todd Helton versus going with the slider. I'm calling fastball. It was, but it was up, not down, and Helton swung through it.
Todd a strikeout victim, and Bumgarner can now watch his infield back up. Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And it was provided by Carlos Gonzalez. A home run to straightaway center field. Gave the Rockies an early 2-0 advantage. See what Bumgarner does here. 2 outs in the inning. Carlos and Adrian Gonzalez are the 2 best in the league left on left.
I was surprised he went fastball. That's what he did first time. He went fastball and got it by him. But let's see if young Mr. Buster Posey stays in that direction of the fastball. I thought he might throw him sweeping. Here comes the curveball. Sweeping slider, curveball, and Ball's hit hard again.
But right at Shearholtz and right, and the Rockies can't score. On to the fourth, 2-2. Fast Cash Gold Centers, where you'll always get 40% more for your gold. Let's go back down to Alana Rizzo.
All right, Jack, thanks very much. A quick update for you on Troy Tulowitzki. This one having nothing to do with his mullet. Troy was here at the park today interacting with his teammates. You know what? He was able to participate in conditioning exercises. Not baseball activities quite yet, but he was able to stretch. He was able to run with his teammates. He can't hit or field ground balls yet. Of course, Tulo with that fracture in his wrist. He's been working, though, with the training staff, getting ice and continuing the bone stimulation. He is able to run during those conditioning exercises, and he's here with his team, but it's kind of funny because he's so bored, he told me. He's been spending a lot of time with the front office trying to figure out what everybody does. He wants to shadow all of us, just looking for things to do as he gets, you know, in his progress for the rehab. But happy to be back with the team, and hopefully he'll be back with us soon, guys.
All right, Alana, thank you very much. It's no question a guy like Tulo, who is an everyday player, I mean everyday player, this is killing him.
Well, much like a year ago or 2 years ago when he did the hand injury. Couldn't participate. That was something self-inflicted. Yet, you know, this fastball up and in at 93 miles an hour was not self-inflicted.
2-2 now on Buster Posey.
The best part about it, this is what will expose a team, I should say a franchise, when a star does get hurt in that fashion. Can they cover it up till he gets back? And the Rockies have done that. Johnny Herrera with a hot bat. Barmes' defense. Barmes is hot. His average up to 250. So, I mean, you know, then when you get him back, it's not like you're trying to make up 7 or 8 games. You just keep it as close as you possibly can.
Towards right field. Spilborghs is there. Ryan takes care of the slicing liner. One away in the San Francisco fourth. Let's go outside the box. Outside the box is brought to you by Jack in the Box. I remember that game. It was on this day 2 years ago. I remember the quickie. I just didn't remember it being on the 1st of July. That was against San Diego. Broken bat. Roller. Helton will get to the bag just ahead of Shearholtz for the second out, and a piece of that bat went way down the right side of the grandstands on the lower deck. I mean, that was a broken bat of Olympic length.
It wasn't that. This ball's going to get shattered on the Hyundai cam as it works in on the lumber. And then it's, you know, the strength of the player and the length of the swing caused this bat to carry as far as it did. You ask why a lot of first basemen don't sprint to the bag and just touch and then come back. Uh-oh. Did he?
No.
Strong man.
Bumgarner gets it to the track, but it's just a loud out number 3. To the bottom of the 4th, tied at 2. AT&T switched to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, a better 3G experience. Big brothers, big sisters, be big and donate your car. You get a free tow, a tax break, and you'll help change a kid's life. Dex One, marketing solutions, business results. And by Colorado Hyundai. Hyundai was just named the most efficient car maker in America. Visit your Colorado Hyundai dealers today. 2-2 ball game as the rookie left-hander Madison Bumgarner has allowed just 3 hits, a pair to Dexter Fowler, but did a nice job of working out of a man at third and 1-out situation last inning, striking out Helton and getting Gonzalez to line out to right. Melvin Mora in the cleanup spot for the 2nd time this year. It leads off here in the 4th. Melvin with that short stroke. I think of all the Rockies hitters, the shortest stroke of all.
Well, his hands only come back about 2 to 3 inches and then explode into the strike zone at the ball.
Paul Molitor, the best I've ever saw at that. I don't even know if they came back 2 inches for Molly.
I mean, he started at about at his back shoulder and got it through in a hurry. He's going to get a shot right at Renteria.
One away on a sharply hit ground ball, as George accurately described it. Our AT&T trivia question for this evening: 600+ doubles in the careers of 14 big leaguers. He's the only one who never led his league in that category. That's pretty interesting. Hard to believe you could have that many doubles and not lead your league at least once. Ryan Spilborgh's called out on strikes. He'll hit it at Renteria.
Well, Renteria's been busy. That's because of that hard cutter coming in underneath the bat on the right-handed hitters.
For Renteria, that's his 4th assist in the ball game, and 6 ground ball outs engineered by the young left-hander who won't turn 21 until the 1st of August.
So Alderson was the right-hander they took in the sandwich pick out of Horizon High School. He's since been traded out of the Giant organization.
And 2 highly regarded picks, the battery tonight with Bumgarner and Posey behind the plate.
Last year's #1 pick, Zach Wheeler, a strong right-handed high school pitcher again, drafted by the Giants.
Miguel Olivo, as we mentioned, certainly should merit all-star consideration. How about the batting average over the last month and a half? Will that ball drop? It does before Aubrey Huff can get to it. 1-2. That was our XL Energy fun fact. And Miguel, with the caught stealings, he has thrown out 18 guys, best in the National League. The 11 homers, the 38 runs batted in. And oh, by the way, he's hitting .307.
Deserves the opportunity, I think, to obviously be there. Whether
it'll be 3 in a row in the inning for Renteria, and he makes a bad throw. Olivo digging for 2. That's all the hustle of Miguel Olivo. He pounded hard down the line. Renteria looked up and realized he had to hurry his throw and made a poor one.
4th error on Renteria this year, and again, this is very sure-handed, accurate throwing shortstop in baseball, but Olivo forced all of this. He goes to the backhand, and Olivo's thinking, I've either got a base hit or I'm going to make him force it. He bobbled it coming right out of the glove. You could see it, and then Huff could not pick it at first base.
Gives the Rockies, they're going to credit Olivo with an infield hit and then the error to go to second base.
Bang bang play at first base. Tonight's official score awarded the base hit.
See if Clint Barmes can cash in. He has been as good as anybody over the last month for the Rockies in run scoring opportunities.
8-game hitting streak, 13 for 31, hitting over 400 over that span. 2 home runs and 7 RBIs with a couple of doubles and 7 runs scored.
And he's going to get a broken bat flare into the outfield that will score Olivo. Miguel Olivo's hustle. Clint Barmes with a clutch hit to follow, and the Rockies regain the lead.
Well, one guy that's eating that right now, Renteria, the veteran, allowed Olivo to beat that ball to first base and then move on to second, get into scoring position with 2 outs. Bumgarner makes his pitch, but again, Barmes working on the baseball, trying to drive. You see that downward swing on the Hyundai cam, and just got under enough of it. And he sent it out into the outfield for his 39th RBI of the season.
He is second on the ball club in runs batted in. And on the year, this is the number that is really impressive. Over 330 with runners in scoring position.
Well, you know, and everybody wanted to talk. When I say the media and the people on the call-in shows, you know, Clint's not hitting, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. 39 RBIs when you hit the 7th and 8th hole of a lineup, that's impressive.
Jim Tracy often says, if he hits 2 1/4 for me and plays the defense he plays and comes up with the occasional clutch hit, I'm happy. Well, Clint's done much more than that this year.
Well, I think, quite personally, I think there's about 8 games he's won with his glove.
No doubt. I totally agree with you, George. I mean, if we talk about the Rockies with the trio of center fielders in the outfield right now, when Tulo is healthy, you have 2 shortstops playing up the middle. Bounced up the middle, and a sliding stop by Uribe that has no play. Barmes beat him to second. Herrera beat the throw to first. And the inning keeps going.
And extending the pitch count of the youngster on the mound, too. And he got 2 quick outs, and then all of a sudden, good things started to happen.
Pretty good stop by Uribe, but had nothing that he could do.
Well, Renteria, you notice on the replay, he was cutting out to go get to the baseball, and then when he wasn't standing at the bag at second, Uribe has played shortstop. He has good range. He wasn't going to make the throw there, and he wound up. Johnny Herrera was able to beat it out.
So Aaron Cook with a chance to help himself. Aaron has a run batted in this year. In his career, he has knocked in 17.
Well, the Rockies pitchers this year, 13 RBIs, second in the National League. And Major League leaders, 14. Tells you the job they've done.
And Ted Barrett said that Aaron Cook went through with that swing. Aaron said, "Didn't I stop?"
Yeah, look on the overhead, you'll be able to see it an awful lot. Most time they'll ask, but that magical line out front dictates whether they went through or not.
Ooh. Throw out towards second and into short center field. It either hit Renteria's glove or the back of Clint Barmes. Might have caught Clint.
Well, I think it did. I think it got him on the backside as his ball's coming into second base, trying to throw to a moving target. On the Hyundai cam, you'll really be able to see this ball come in, and when it does, you see Clint kind of grimace because he knows he's fixing to get hit. He's got to get a path back to that bag as quickly as he can.
Checked his swing that time, did Aaron. 2-2. The bunt idea on the previous pitch wasn't a bad idea because Sandoval was all the way back.
Well, this time you can see that he did not go around, but that's the respect they show of Aaron Cook and the way he swings the bat. Closer to the plate, the less range you have.
Nice stop by Sandoval and saves a run for the Giants. But the Rockies take the lead 3-2 after 4. Beautiful Colorado sunsets as it starts to fade to the west and peeks through the cloud cover overhead. Miguel Olivo showing just another element of why he has made such progress, George. Aaron Cook made the last out, came out, kind of did his warm-ups quickly. What does Miggy do? He goes out to the mound.
Absolutely, because he had to run hard to first base. Give him time to collect his thoughts, collect his energy in preparation of this inning with a leadoff man of the Giants.
And a good breaking ball is in for a strike to Aaron Rowan. He hit a 2-out bases loaded single to knock in the Giants 2 runs back in the second. This should be an easy play for Spilborghs. Ryan backs up another step, 1 away. Our AT&T trivia question on the night was a rather interesting one. There are 14 big leaguers who have hit 600 or more doubles in their career. One of that group never led his league in that category. You have any idea, George?
No, let me see the 14. Doug, is this one of your questions?
Barry Bonds. Wow.
Should have figured the tie, huh?
Yeah. Bonds, the all-time home run guy, the all-time bases on balls guy, and of course the stigma that's attached to him takes away from the fact that even before all the PEDs, whether he was or he wasn't, he was an awfully good player.
Awfully good baseball player. All the years he was a skinny kid hitting a lot of home runs in Pittsburgh.
2 balls and a strike, the count on Edgar Renteria. Aaron Cook has induced 6 ground ball outs. He's gotten Renteria on the ground twice, and how about number 3? Barmes takes care of his counterpart. 2 gone. Well, on this holiday weekend, our quote of the day comes from President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Baseball provides a recreation which does not last over 2 hours or 2 hours and a half, and which can be got for very little cost. He never came to Coors Field before the humidor.
And I hate to inform you, there's no nickel seats now.
Yep, that's true. Aubrey Huff was walked and grounded out. Of course, you could almost double that 2.5 hours anytime the Red Sox and the Yankees play each other. Those games are guys battling pitchers and all of the aspects. Somehow Huff skipped out of the way of that pitch at his feet, 1-1. But you know what? The thing when people, to me, George, when people talk about the length of game, it's usually members of the media. I've never had a fan say to me, oh, that game was too long.
Well, you know, let me tell you something. It's a privilege every day to work at this ballpark or this ballpark sit-out.
Don't get up, and it hits off the top, but a huge carom. Huff will hold with a double. Boy, Aubrey Huff missed a home run by no more than a foot or two, but fortunately for the Rockies, that auxiliary scoreboard was to their benefit tonight.
Absolutely it was. Missed it by about a paintbrush, and that's exactly. This ball got hit very hard to right field by Huff. And left the bat. I mean, you kind of have that sinking feeling it might get out of the ballpark, but it hit right above and below that yellow area and then ricocheted off. And Spielborgs gave chase to it.
17 doubles for Huff, a 2-out man in scoring position for Pat Burrell, who has a single and 2 tries. Rockies with the 1-run lead. Cook trying to finish the 5th. One ball, no strikes.
My whole deal about time of the game, you know what? If you don't want to be here 4 hours and watch a great game, or 3.5 hours and watch the great game of baseball, then stay at home. Then you get up, go to the kitchen, go in the backyard, come back in, check the score. But it's just so much fun and a privilege to watch baseball every night and be a part of it.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, George. You think I've covered a lot of different sports, and I have done baseball more than any of the others because it is the most fun to cover.
Oh, something changes every day. You learn something new every day. Burrell with a lot of success against Aaron Cook. 1 for 2 at the start of this ball game. He's going to fly out.
Dexter Fowler, if it comes down, it does, and the double does no damage. Halfway through this one, the Rockies are on top by a run. your Scott's All-Star ballot at Lowe's and enter to win a VIP All-Star experience. Compliments of Scott's. Dexter Fowler, a single and a triple and a run scored on the night. Tried to bunt up the right side, and was that a cutter, George?
Yeah, it was. You know, it starts out in the middle of the plate, and you think you're going to be able to get to it, and it just keeps traveling in and in as you're making your move forward. So it's just like a couple of objects meeting. See, this ball's going to come on the Hyundai cam. Dexter, when he comes into your picture, you're going to see he's moving this way. The ball's coming this way, so it makes it very difficult to lay a bunt down.
Of course, the right side, Dex's natural side for hitting. Hit very well from the left side at Colorado Springs. That was the purpose, and he's got a 3-for-3 night. Just seems like a more confident hitter at the plate on his return, even though he did not get a hit in the series in San Diego.
Well, I think he hits the balls hard. He feels a little bit comfortable about what he's doing, and he's confident again at what he's doing. Part of that is Dexter Fowler, when he was sent down, realizes he needed work. And he went down and he worked on his game to get back here. And when he didn't come back when he was hitting 380 down there, he continued to work.
Well, we'll get our second opportunity to see what Mr. Bumgarner's like in terms of holding runners on. Thought he had picked off Fowler in the first inning, and Dex ended up beating the throw to second base for a stolen base. He was kind of betwixt and between there as Bumgarner paused before throwing over. Ball one to Todd Helton, who was 0 for 2. Rockies scored 2 in the first on a Gonzalez 2-run homer. Giants tied it in the second on a 2-run single by Aaron Rowan. Clint Barmes with an RBI single last inning broke the deadlock. 1-1 now on Helton. Just a little bit tight, apparently. 2-1.
Fourth strike zone, you're going to see this third pitch when it approaches the plate. Not that bad of a pitch. A lot of umpires, though, are not going to give you that pitch when it wraps around the plate.
2-2 now with Helton, and plus it just the movement of a catcher at times. Isn't that part of the process too?
Absolutely it is. And what we mean by wrap around a plate is what happens is an umpire sees a pitch coming out of here approaching, and then it makes that late move in. We'll come back to that in just a second. I'm going to do it again here real quick for you. Because what happens is that ball starts out here, and as it starts to come in,
George's
illustrators.
Yeah,
there it goes. It does this. So when it does that, an umpire doesn't give it to a lot of the pitching because of that.
I had Mark Wiley, the former pitching coach with the Rockies minor league organization. Todd's fly ball to left has some carry, but Burrell near the line will drop it. Fowler's going to come halfway, and Dexter probably wondering if he could have made it since Burrell's throw was offline.
Well, you know, probably, but I think too that they recognize you got a guy familiar with Coors Field, and when he caught the ball, he got rid of it very quickly. Even though offline, I think if Burrell would have had to turn around and then throw the ball in, maybe Dexter takes a shot there. But you also got a guy swinging it back pretty good. He's 1 for 2 with a home run, 2-run shot to put the Rockies on top early. You're going to see Burrell get over and get it, but see the quick exchange and then the throw in.
But as you're pointing out, George, the going back to first was as much of a product of the guy at the plate as anything.
Sure, absolutely. Interesting. 2 fastballs to start Gonzalez off his first 2 at-bats. One left the yard. The other one was taken. This time slider to start him off. Well, make sure that you get on your computers tonight at, I think Alana told us in the open, at about 9:59. Yeah, 9:59 Mountain Time tonight. It's the last time that you can jump on it. He's got his iPod with him at the park. Start voting, pal. Start pumping those numbers.
Vote up to 25 times at ColoradoRockies.com. 3-0 on Gonzalez. It's hard to say with Mark Wiley. He talked about, he said the most frustrating thing for pitchers, and I guess I'm preaching to the choir telling you, George, those wraparound pitches when you don't get the call. Well, you can't let it bug you.
It goes from, you know, an 0-1 count to a 1-0, maybe a 1-2 count to a 2-1, and then you're pitching behind, and maybe you go to a pitch you don't necessarily want to have to fire.
Yeah, it looked like Bumgarner was going to be very cautious with Carlos. He issues his first walk of the ball game, and that will get the veteran pitching coach Dave Righetti to the mound.
More than anything, just check him out. I mean, he's at 69 pitches right now. It's been pretty consistent around that 12, 13 pitch count the entire game. See a youngster looking at Righetti. He's listening to every single word of what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, here's a situation with pitcher and catcher. They're not going to offer much other than the response to a question.
And it's yes, sir.
Melvin Mora will see if he can add to the Rockies' advantage. Melvin has grounded out twice to Renteria, the Giants shortstop.
Well, that's what I wanted to see for the folks at home to see also where Renteria goes if he reads the pitches. In other words, he knows from looking at his catcher signs that whether the ball's going to cut, if it's a cut or in, then he'll make this motion out here to start out with so he can make an easier play on that baseball. Start him out with a slider, but a lot of times he'll communicate with your third baseman and tell him, ball in the hole, you get to the bag. Because I'll make the play and I'm not going to first, I'm going to third to get the force out.
Very good speed on the bases. If Melvin finds a gap, he's going to find himself with a couple of ribbies. Fowler and Gonzalez go to throw to third, not in time, the double steal.
Well, that's twice now the Giants not happy. Renteria the first time, and then now Pablo Sandoval thought they had Dexter Fowler at third base.
8 steals for Dexter, and that's number 12 for Carlos.
Tell you what, Posey may not have caught but 2 ball games this year. He got a quick exchange there, and Dexter able to get a big lead on the youngster.
Looked like the correct call. Close, but like Dex had the hand on the bag, and that's what Paul Nart saw.
And the Hyundai cam really showed that. I'd like to go back to that again in slow motion and see what happens. I want to show you folks something at home that Sandoval did to try to cover the bag up. He just got in a bad position late.
Ground ball towards short. Fowler is going to score. The throw to first in time, but the Rockies get a run with the double steal. It's 4-2 Colorado.
Well, it's all about the slide earlier I was talking about. I want to show you the one thing that an infielder will do, whether second or third. You know, a lot of times you see it at third. Look at the knee right here on the Hyundai cam. See how it's on top of the bag? He wanted that knee down in front of the bag. Then you prevent the base runner from putting his hand straight into the bag. He's got to go around your legs to be safe, and a lot of times that gets you an out.
Instead, it gets the Rockies a run. Gonzalez held at second. Ryan Spilborgh's 0 for 2 on the night. Comes up empty on that fastball of Bumgarner's that has good movement. Back down most of his fastballs now, back to 89-90. Looking for a 2-out RBI, but Ryan's in the hole quickly. 2 strikes. Showed you a graphic earlier. The Rockies in the bottom half of the league with 2-out RBIs. We've got one in the ball game tonight, though, by Clint Barmes. Spilborgh's trying to do the same. Ryan fouls it away. Slow start to the year against lefties. Ryan's picked it up of late. Trying to get the kid left-hander here. One ball, two strikes.
Yeah, sometimes you look at Spilborgh's too, and you say you look at averages, you look at other things going on, but managers call guys like Spilborgh's a money player, meaning he has money with runners in scoring position or big situations late in games. He's at 323 with runners in scoring position.
George, how much of the game do you think Posey is calling? How much of it think's coming from the bench?
Well, you know what? I think they have a game plan between the two of them, and I think he's going with it.
Strike three. Either he swung or it was called a strike. But the Rockies manufacture a run and lead by 2. Local Steel Dealers. For a location near you, visit steeldealers.com. Larry H. Miller Boulder Toyota, driven by you. And by King Soopers. Our people make the difference. Something got away out in the right field corner. Ryan Spilborgh's retrieved it for a fan. So after a momentary pause, we're ready to start the 6th inning with switch hitter Pablo Sandoval. A single and a strikeout against Aaron Cook for the third baseman. Sandoval, Uribe, and Posey. One ball, one strike. Cook has had one clean inning. The 4th retired them in order. A walk in the 1st inning. 4 hits and 2 runs in the 2nd. A hit in the 3rd, a hit in the 5th. Fly ball short right field. Herrera going out. Johnny says he wants it, and he's got it. Takes care of Pablo Sandoval. On this date in history, brought to you by Dex One Marketing Solutions, business results. In Pittsfield, Mass. in Western Massachusetts, first ever college baseball game. Amherst and Williams. I mean, they play marathon matches in everything they do. They went 25 innings in that one. I'm not really sure with a score like that why they went 25 innings, but very interesting. Juan Uribe rolls it to Barmes. Quick release to Helton. Boy, just what Aaron Cook is looking for. He gets 2 outs on 4 pitches here in the 6th.
How good is this? I mean, this is the Aaron Cook in the last, the last 15 innings of baseball. I mean, he's pitched very good baseball here at Coors Field. I mentioned earlier, all-time wins leader here with 33 wins, 25 losses. 2-0 this year. 3-0 in his last 5 starts at Coors Field.
Buster Posey has singled and has lined out to right field. Scored one of the Giants' 2 runs back in the 2nd inning for the rookie catcher. Behind the plate for just the 3rd time this season after the Giants traded veteran Benji Molina. 2-0 the count on him.
Well, on July 7th, the first 15,000 adults 21 and over get a drink tumbler courtesy of Coors Light. St. Louis Cardinals are in town, so make sure you get your tickets for that. 8 ground ball outs for Cook, 6, maybe 7 fly ball outs. Will it stay in play for Hunt to make a play on it?
Just about 2 rows too far for Todd.
And 3 strikeouts for Cook.
You can repair that chip in your windshield by calling Safe Light Elite Auto Glass at 303-287-5000, or you can check it out online at safelight.com. 86 pitches on the evening for Aaron Cook, with 2 outs here in the 6th. Three and 1. Rockies bringing Esmil Rogers up from Colorado Springs and optioning Franklin Morales down to their AAA ball club, changing the front end of the bullpen a little bit. This is pretty well hit to right, and this one is not going to be stopped by the scoreboard. Buster Posey with his 2nd home run, and the Giants make it a 1-run game again. It's 4-3.
Yeah, remember, he led off the 4th inning against Aaron Cook, and he sliced a line drive right to Spielborgs for an out. This ball traveled to right field, and again, you can see why the Giants excited about this young man. He got a fastball. He cleared his inner half of his body and was able to drop the head of the bat on it and take it to right field. You see on the Hyundai cam, see everything cleared out, hips and everything this way, and then all of a sudden he got a great swing on the baseball.
And you could see how much the glove of Miguel Olivo moved on that as well, George, from that Hyundai cam angle.
I'll tell you what, to me it's a huge stat. Beautiful camera work there. Unfortunately, it was a home run by the Giants. That's one of the things I look at, and how many times you see catchers want a ball in or want a ball away, and you see them reach back a foot to 1.5 mistakes. Those 1.5 mistakes without movement seem to end up being a monster mistake and can affect the ball game dramatically.
Schierholtz has a hit and 2 tries, 1 ball and 1 strike on the right fielder.
As you would anticipate by Aaron Cook, he's pitched 94 innings this year and just given up 6 home runs.
Good sinking action that time for Aaron. He gets ahead of Schierholtz. See what Nate has done in his career, and a brief sample against Aaron Cook. Part of the reason why he was in the lineup tonight for Bruce Bochy. Two and 2. Earlier start tomorrow night. 6:10 or so first pitch because it's fireworks night. Jaleese Chassin and Tim Lincecum. More fireworks Saturday night. Another 6:10 start with Ubaldo Jimenez and Barry Zito. We told you lots of good pitching this weekend. Fowler on the track of that one. He'll put it away. A 2-out homer by Buster Posey makes it a 1-run game again, but the Rockies still have the lead. 3-for-3 night with a triple. Good extension, and when you talk about extension, it's particularly true with the stride of Dexter. That was the Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze Can. Rockies lead just a run again. Miguel Olivo, who scored the run back in the 4th inning that broke the 2-all tie, and he did that with hustle with 2 outs. When a ball hit into the hole, he hustled his way to an infield hit. Throwing error took him to second, and he scored on a Clint Barmes single.
Well, a few times you're going to see a ball hit to the right side with Olivo up, regardless fair or foul. He's had 61 hits this year. 5 only have gone to right field. Doug Marino looks up every stat, Jack. You notice it? That's $1, by the way. He looks up every single stat.
With those spray charts. That one's pulled down the left side. 2 strikes on Miguel. Well, our first look at Madison Bumgarner, and we can see why the Giants are high on this youngster.
Well, he got beat the other day, but went 7 innings, 4 hits in that start that he had the other day. And again, this is a young kid. It was against the Boston Red Sox. He struck out 5, walked 1, 2 home runs in the game. Beimel and Belisle, the right-left combination, warming up for the Rockies.
Pitcher would bat 4th in the inning.
And that's why Jim Tracy getting the guns loaded in case he has to go to the bench and take that shot. Belisle, the right-handed, Beimel, the left-hander. And again, it's Jim Tracy, I think, for me, a lot of managers wait around to take that big bopper and say, okay, this is I'm going to pinch hit him now in the 8th inning or 9th inning when they're thinking they got to go against it. And that's not necessarily. You can blow it up, blow it up. Let's check in with Alana Rizzo.
All right, guys, thanks very much. I want to talk a little bit more about Clint Barmes, what he is doing offensively. He's raised his average nearly 100 points between May and June, from 221 to 313. His season average is 249, and that keeps increasing. I talked to Clint about hitting for average. He said, you know what, it's never been part of my game. He said, I'm an aggressive hitter. I'm going to record a lot of outs. He said, what's more important to him, guys, as you might imagine, is driving in runs and helping the team win naturally versus just getting hits to help his average. He said he wouldn't mind a bigger average. Who wouldn't? But it isn't his focus, guys.
Well, the 39 RBIs, the focus Clint was talking about with Alana, including an RBI hit tonight.
Well, you know what I think he does, and again, we watch it an awful lot. Yes, I like Clint Barmes. I like him as a player and as a person. But if he doesn't do with his bat that night, he's going to do everything possible with his glove to win a ball game, to make a play, to shorten an inning, turn a double play. And I really think he gets as much joy of turning a difficult double play and making it quick and pretty as he does getting a base hit.
Well, he is the different player physically and in some other ways, but he is the Rockies' David Eckstein.
Absolutely.
I'm going to do what I have to do to help my team win. 3-1 now on Clint. Will Aaron Cook go out for the 7th? It'll depend on Barmes and Herrera. Full count now on Clint. And he's going to have his 2nd hit of the night. And that'll put the batting average over 250 for Clint Barmes. I was teasing Clint. I said, you're probably mad they flipped the calendar page after the month of June, but we'll try and keep it rolling. John Herrera with an infield hit. 1 for 2 for John as he'll take a strike. Aaron Cook is in the on deck circle at the moment. If Herrera can get Barmes into scoring position, we might see a pinch hitter. One ball and 1 strike on Jonathan Herrera. George talked about it earlier. I think it bears repeating. The demeanor has grown so much for Jonathan Herrera. He feels like he belongs now in the big leagues. Not that wide-eyed look to everything he does.
And I think part of that, to help progress that a little bit, it was the amount of playing time he got in spring training at the first half of ball games. It wasn't always coming in facing a AA or AAA pitcher. He was facing guys at the big league level, traveling to Phoenix. And, I think Jim did a nice job of progressing along his ability to believe in his athleticism.
Will they turn to Uribe's throw to first? In time, they said. Huff kept his foot on the bag, and that will end the inning. We will go to the 7th. 4-3. Aaron Cook will start the 7th inning. He has Belisle and Beimel ready behind him in the Rockies bullpen. He'll get the pitcher Bumgarner and then back to the top of the order.
1-run ball game. It obviously tells you exactly what Bruce Bochy thinks of his young starting pitcher. Except for a couple of bad pitches, really 3 total in the ball game. He's pitched well. He's going to stick with it.
Hit a deep fly ball to center field his last time up after striking out in his initial at bat. You mentioned, George, that they had used him as a pinch hitter once already this year. So again, another reason that he feels like, does Bruce Bochy, he can stay with the young pitcher. 0-2.
Pitch count too. His pitch count's not drastically high.
92 at the moment.
Bruce Bochy, a guy that's been to the playoffs 3 times, the World Series 1 time. He knows what he's doing in that bench.
Aaron Cook with 96 pitches at the moment. Way off the plate, Olivo. The youngster didn't flinch at all.
It tells you something about him as a hitter. And I know that Hensley Mullins over there is the new hitting coach, took over for Carney Langsford at the start of this year. Works not with just players, but it's pitchers too.
Got him with the breaking ball.
Matt Cain, pretty good guy, could swing the bat a little bit. Lincecum can swing it a little bit.
4th strikeout for Aaron Cook. Back to the top of the order and rolling. He knocked in 2 of the 3 Giants runs with a single back in the 2nd inning. And now here comes Jim Tracy.
Cook to up, you'd have to anticipate, I would think, a double switch.
Unless we have Betancourt for the 8th, it's going to be Matt Belisle coming on. Aaron Cook will get a fine ovation as he heads to the dugout with a chance to come up with his 3rd win of the season. 4-3 Rockies, pitching change in the 7th. To you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST for Matt Belisle. Aaron Rowan, the hitter, and the fastball is there for a strike.
The impressive part of what Belisle has done, the 51 strikeouts, just 11 walks, 47 in the 3rd innings, 42 hits given up. Pitching in the 8th and 9th inning of most every ball game. You've seen go 7th and 8th inning, coming into every ball game, and it's on the winning side or tied every time. It's a good feeling as a pitcher to know that you contributed to help your ball club win a game.
Picked up his first save in 5 seasons this year as well. The 0-2.
His last save was July the 5th, 2005.
Against these Giants.
Yeah.
Another right-handed hitter, Renteria, is on deck. Got him. Rowan down on strikes for the 2nd time. 2 down in the Giants' half of the 7th.
Trying to make that hard slider work to the outside part of the plate, and he did that at 86 miles an hour. A late quick bite on it. After losing 2 ball games back to back, June 8th and 9th, he's pitched in 8 ball games, 9 in the 3rd, 9 hits. He's 2-0. A couple of hits given up and a 1 run. He has been dominant again, and earlier in his career, as he bounced back and forth between the big leagues and minor leagues, he never really got over that hump. And I've mentioned this on other telecasts. Going back to AAA, Chuck Neffen giving him the attitude that you will close games here for us. And in September last year, he was a very special part of this Rockies bullpen.
Well, as you get Houston Street healthy, it looks like Rafael Betancourt's getting squared away. Now that back end of the bullpen taking on that look again.
Right where you want.
Pretty well hit to left field, but still lots of room for cargo. Time to stretch your feet here at Coors Field. How about you at home as well? The Rockies lead it 4-3. and a 2-run shot. Then in the 4th inning, after the Giants had tied the score in the second, Clint Farmas with a 2-out single scored Miguel Olivo with the go-ahead run. The Rockies upped their advantage to 4-2, but Buster Posey with a home run got us to our current 4-3 score. Our look back brought to you by Cooney Lexus, where luxury has an address. Ian Stewart is going to pinch hit for Matt Belisle, who came on and retired the 2 men he faced. Stewart swings and misses for strike 1. Ian, 248, 9 homers, 34 runs batted in. You see his limited pinch hitting duties so far this year, normally in the lineup.
Well, it works out for Jim Tracy because now he puts him out at third defenseman and leaves him in the 9-hole to hit, and put your do a switch that way if he wants to.
Baumgartner ready with the 0-2.
All fans at the July 10th game will receive a 2010 Rockies team poster. It's always a big day at the ballpark. Every fan that shows up, you'll receive one. Go to ColoradoRockies.com for tickets.
.com,
yeah,
either way.
You know what I meant. Threw the Okie.com on you.
Yeah.
32,134 at the yard. Good crowd.
On a Thursday night ahead of the holiday weekend.
All the little leaguers out walking around before the ball game. They got the gorillas in the yard again. Who's with them? Superman and Batman?
Stewart fighting off some good pitches from Baumgartner. Rockies over 1.2 million on the year. They know they'll have big crowds. Tickets are still available for the weekend, as well as the Cardinals and the Padres through the rest of this homestand. One more 1-2 is hit foul out of play. Even without the fireworks, you get the 2-time Cy Young winner Tim Lincecum tomorrow night pitching for the Giants. Saturday night, in addition to the fireworks, you get Ubaldo Jimenez. 14-1 on the year.
That's just as dominant as of a performance. And Doug Marino looked that stat up one day. And most wins at the All-Star break, Wilbur Wood with 18, and he didn't even make the team.
Well, Wilbur pitched every other day.
Yeah, 18 and 14, and didn't make the team.
2-2 now. It's a good battle by Stewart. Giants have had only the Pirates and the Astros provide less help to their starting pitching. Well, the Padres are there too, but their starting pitching has made it work, along with that bullpen. Full count, and it's going to be at least a 10-pitch at bat here for Stewart.
10th pitch coming right now. Only 1 home run given up by Baumgartner this year, while at Fresno. And right-handers need him a little bit more. We're going to pop this one up. Gonzalez with the home run earlier in this ball game with him.
Uribe handles the pop-up at second. Stewart, the pinch hitter, retired. Back to the top of the order, and Dexter Fowler, who has found Madison Bumgarner to his liking. Who wants tacos? Well, fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more runs for the Rockies Tacos Special, text the keyword taco to 95323. Feed your Rockies fever only at Taco Bell. Dexter with 2 singles and a triple, 2 runs scored, 2 stolen bases on the night. Bumgarner gets ahead quickly with a couple of high fastballs.
Still maintaining his velocity, Jack. That pitch at 91.
Winslow the lefty, Moto the right-hander. Over 100 pitches on the night now for Bumgarner.
If the ball game was tied, or the Giants are up one, you see I felt Casilla in this situation to come into the ball game.
Little flare, but this time it'll hang up long enough for Rowan to get there. And they retire Dexter Fowler for the first time tonight. Giants traded away veteran catcher Benji Molina after the game yesterday. It was not okayed by Major League Baseball because of the financial complications with the Rangers until this afternoon. So we don't know if Chris Ray's even in the ballpark. And he has gotten here. So Chris Ray is the 25th member of the Giants roster now.
Young looking guy, huh?
Boy. 1 ball, 1 strike on Todd Helton. Todd has been held hitless tonight in the lefty-lefty matchup. Two balls and a strike. Helton trying to get aboard for Gonzalez. See if the Rockies can push their advantage again. Todd will line it to center field. That's a base hit. Todd Helton gets hit number 9 for the Rockies. And it'll get Carlos Gonzalez to the plate with a chance to expand the lead. The Rockies also made a move today. Franklin Morales was optioned to Colorado Springs, and Esmil Rogers will come back again to the big league club. Esmil was doing some starting, though, working on some innings, so he'll be the long man in the bullpen. Cargo pops it up on the first pitch. Sandoval will make the catch, and the Rockies are gone in the 7th. But they have the lead. On to the 8th, 4-3 Colorado. Betancourt takes his warm-up tosses. We'll take a look at your choice, sleeves or no sleeves for the Rockies uniform in the Breaks Plus poll. And George, they're like you, they like the no sleeves.
Yeah, just a lot of less restriction. I think guys enjoy wearing them. Todd with the base hit in his last inning. still stretching that back a little bit on the lower backside. Set out some games in San Diego with a stiff back.
Rafael Betancourt back in that 8th inning role for the ball club, trying to get it to Houston Street in the 9th with the lead intact.
This is where Rafael Betancourt really desires to be in a ball game. Doesn't like being in 9th inning, wants to be right there. 34th game for him to come into. The record 1-1, a high earned run average because 2 or 3 blow-ups. The thing that you've got to have coming out of the bullpen is a guy that throws strikes. Bilal obviously had done that. 5 walks for Betancourt in the games he's pitched in this year.
He'll get Aubrey Huff, Pat Burrell, and Sandoval. So you'll get a lefty, a righty, and a switch hitter who will bat lefty against him. And the success has been primarily by left-handers against Betancourt.
Balls that get up into the strike zone. It's been some of the biggest problems for him. Huff in his career, 3 for 10. 2 of those 3 hits have been a home run.
1 ball, 1 strike. Huff this year, for whatever reason, has been particularly dangerous leading off innings. One pitch. That'll get back into the crowd.
Well, support the Colorado Rockies wives as they host their annual grab bags for a charity event July 6th and 7th. This is pretty cool. You never know what bag you're going to get with what autograph in it. It has been a huge success for them. You can do that at section 131, $40 for the mystery autograph ball.
Huff familiar with Betancourt from American League days. Facing him here to start the Giants' 8th. And he got him. Betancourt surprised him, I think. Challenged him upstairs, almost as if Huff was looking for something off speed.
Well, I think he was looking for that backdoor slider, or maybe the slider away from him. He wasn't looking for this fastball, I'll guarantee you that. And he just threw the ball by him, above the hands and away. And the ball got by Aubrey Huff. That doesn't happen often with Huff. Good job, Betancourt.
Pat Burrell, 1 for 3 on the night. Single back in the 3rd inning. He's flied to center and hit into a fielder's choice in the other 2 at bats. Look out, George.
I'll let you have all those.
Off the facade of the upper deck right above us. Eighth inning, a 1-run game. Good off speed that time. 0-2.
Didn't try to overthrow it. It's 82 miles an hour and really let his arm catch up to the body as he's going towards the plate. See that front glove tuck and pull. Stayed way up on top of that slider, created a lot of breakthrough.
You're talking 12, 13 mile an hour difference.
Tough to adjust to as a hitter.
Fouled off of Miguel Oliva. No chance to hang on to that one. I think it caught him in the mask. You know, caught him enough that Keith Duggar is going to come out and take a look. Oh, yeah. That was a Manny Pacquiao right to the chin.
Jim Tracy's out going, now what's your name? How many fingers for a fastball? How many for a slider and change? Okay, he's all right. Let's go.
Listen to the contact. Might not sound like much, folks, but ask anybody who's taken one of the chops. That one.
He'll drink a lot of malts. He'll have a lot of malts or a straw for a couple of days. You get your jaw jammed up.
Had him reaching, and Burrell's going to get at least another pitch. Always the same kinds of tucks and pulls and grabs that Betancourt does. It's a regular routine for him to get himself prepped. Got it. Ball gets away from Olivo, however. Throw to first, not in time. Slider snuck through the legs of Miguel Olivo, and only because it didn't ricochet back, Miguel had to go all the way to the backstop. Burrell was able to beat it out.
Well, you know what I think happened on this a little bit? I think it caught a little bit of the glove and it slowed it down enough, but yet they did not allow it to have the velocity to ricochet back, what you're talking about. Just ahead on the Hyundai cam, you're going to see him sneak inside to help me. He's safe.
Pitch runner is going to be Andres Torres. That's a lot more speed there.
13 stolen bases for Torres on the year. 14, excuse me, and have been caught 3 times.
Wild pitch is charged to Betancourt. That's a tough one. It would have been out number 2. Sandoval now 1 for 3. And Rafael Betancourt induce a ground ball. Sandoval leads the National League in grounding into double plays with 18. He'll take strike 1. A good running fastball away. Rockies took advantage of a Giants miscue. And now San Francisco with the strikeout wild pitch has the potential tying run aboard with 1 out. There goes, nope, it's a bluff. Bounce to Barmes. He'll go to first to get the 2nd out. Unfortunately, Torres was far enough away that he could run around Clint. He's asking Brian Gorman, the crew chief, did he go out of the base path? And Brian Gorman said no.
Well, let's look at it again. Rafael Betancourt has yet to deuce a double play ball. Thought he had one here. He swung it out pretty wide. But I think for Gorman, he was going to have a difficult time being able to even see that play because he's on the inner half of the infield. That's where you got to ask for help from Tony Randazzo at first base.
So it gets Torres into scoring position. 2 outs in the inning for Uribe.
Uribe, even with the RBI totals, what they are on the season with 46, leads their ball club. He's hit 247 runners in scoring position.
That mighty swing might have just grazed the ball as it went into the glove of Miguel Olivo. Rafael trying to strand that runner, preserve the Rockies' lead against a dangerous hitter, Juan Uribe. In the air to right field. Spilborghs is going to have room. And that retires the side. To the bottom of the 8th. Still 4-3 Rockies. stays in the game in left field. And the Giants turn to veteran reliever Guillermo Mota here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Mota making his 34th appearance. 2 losses and a .267 earned run average for Mota. He has had some issues of late. His control hasn't been good. He's walked 6 men in his last 10 games and given up 6 runs over that same stretch. Rockies would like to touch him up and give Houston Street a cushion for the ninth. Our game summary is brought to you by Ecotech Institute in Denver, where you can make the world your workplace. Difference in the ball game. The Rockies getting just a little bit more production from their pitching. Both teams have had some opportunities. The Rockies are 2 for 8 with men in scoring position. The Giants 2 for 6. The youngster Bumgarner pitched well, but he's on the short side of the ledger, and the Rockies want to keep it that way.
Yeah, he did pitch very well. It's 2 starts in a row that he's kept his ball club in a game and given themselves an opportunity to get a win. But Aaron Cook and the Rockies put some surprising things together, and a result, a lead here in the 8th inning.
All 3 groundouts to short by Melvin Moore. The last one scored the Rockies' 4th run back in the 5th inning. And after the Posey homer in the 6th, that RBI by Melvin, the difference in the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike on him as Houston Street begins his preparation for the 9th inning. Giants will have Posey, Scherholtz in the pitcher's spot due to hit in the 9th. Melvin puts a bunt down. It'll kick foul.
Yeah, that rotation on the baseball when it hit the grass had that backspin. Just caught it and brought it straight back.
Good idea. You can see how deep Sandoval was, and Mota falls to his right.
Yeah, good call, Jack. He does. He falls off that first base side, and he's 6'8", so difficult to regroup and get back the other way.
Jeremy Affeldt, the former Rocky, throwing on the Giants side out there beyond the wall in deep right center. He's there for Giambi if Jim Tracy wanted to use Jason or Seth Smith. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on Melvin Moore. Now, 2 veteran managers here. They are not going to be caught short. They're going to anticipate and be ready.
Well, they're going to have their ball club, and I say ball club because Jim uses his bench as well as what Bochy does, and their bullpens. They're not going to get caught off guard.
Aubrey Huff will get to the bag ahead of Mora for the first out here in the Rockies half of the 8th.
Jim Tracy's thoughts going through his mind as well as Bruce Bochy on how to work his way through this next inning and a half.
Guillermo Mota, a guy who still throws hard. George talking about the 6'7", 6'8", so he has that down tilt that makes it tough. He's allowed only 1 home run this year in 30-plus innings.
It was kind of like Jonathan Broxton when he first came up. He was 99 to 101, and had some problems, was injured, suspended for 50 games with the New York Mets, and then came back from that situation. And, you know, his arm, even though he still throws extremely hard, 96, 97 miles an hour, you won't see the 101, 102. This guy, when he came up with the Dodgers, he threw scary hard and had a good breaking ball to go with. I always wondered, where did the Dodgers find these guys?
I know. Like, they had that stretch, didn't they?
It was unbelievable. The bullpen for the Giants, I started looking at velocities. The highs, now these are highs, not lows, but highs, Jeremy Affeldt 97, Batista 98, Casilla 100, Mota 97, Romo 93, Rensler 98 miles an hour, and Brian Wilson has hit 102 this year.
Now you look at the all-star team for the National League with Wilson and Broxton, Matt Capps, some very good closers available. 2-2 on Spilborghs. That'll be after they see Ubaldo, Halliday, Pelfrey.
Who was it? Wainwright.
Wainwright, Carpenter.
Yeah. How about Jamie Moyer?
How about
another win the other day at 47 years old, and he's got 9 wins now. Charlie may take him to the All-Star game.
Phillies lost in Pittsburgh tonight, though, 3-2. Ryan Spilborgh's able to foul that fastball back. Count holds at 2-2.
By the way, the San Francisco bullpen, 325 earned run average. That's third in the National League. And who's number 1? San Diego Padres, anchored by Heath Bell at 2.73.
Right, we didn't even talk about Heath Bell in that group. And how about Luke Gregerson?
Another guy you look at, of course. The way this game has transpired now, if you don't have a bullpen, you're not going to win.
Amen to that. Spilly drives it to left. Torres will have to play it on the bounce. Good battle by Ryan Spilborghs. He gets his first hit of the night. A 1-out base runner here in the 8th. Well, that's when you look at, we showed the standings of the National League West, George, at the outset of our telecast tonight. And I mean, part of the reason why the Diamondbacks are in the cellar in the West is they have the worst bullpen.
Absolutely they do. They don't have guys that can close out ball games. They've shuffled it around. Eric Howman's been closing now. That Qualls has not been able to do the job. San Diego trails tonight to Houston 3-0. The ball game's in the 3rd inning.
You know, the action in the National League West, the Dodgers are near the top because they have dominated in the division. They are 21-5. The Giants have the fewest wins in the division. They're 8-17 against the Rockies, Dodgers, Padres, and Diamondbacks.
The Rockies 16-14 in the West. Central 5-9.
And last year, that's when they had the real hot run, and those were Central Division games when they had the 11-game streak.
Started in Milwaukee, went to St. Louis, and kept on going. Pittsburgh.
One ball, one strike on Miguel Olivo. Miguel, with good hustle, helped set up the Rockies' 3rd run in the 4th inning. If you're just joining us with 2 outs and nobody on, Miguel hit a ball in the hole. Edgar Renteria did a nice job getting to it, but didn't make a good throw trying to get. Olivo was hustling down the line. The errant throw allowed him to get the 2nd, where Clint Barmes drove him home with a single. Team I'm interested in seeing, and the Rockies will get them for 3 games right after the All-Star break, the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, well, Dusty's got to play it pretty good. Walt Jocketty making moves to make them better.
Mota gets very deliberate with men on base.
The one move they've yet to make is Edison Volquez, who was 97-98 in his Tommy John rehab the other day in Louisville. So he could be back after 2 to 3 more starts at the big league level.
Rockies looking for a cushion. 1-2 on Olivo. Well, Mike Leake, the rookie who went right from Arizona State University to the big leagues.
Not overpowering, but he pounds the strike zone from both sides.
They have gotten good work out of their bullpen, and they know how to win late. Today they beat the Cubs in 10 innings at Wrigley Field. It is their 9th straight win on the road in extra innings.
You know what that is? That's bench, bullpen, and managing is what gets those wins.
2-2 on Olivo. And that is the 15th time this year that the Reds have won in their final at bat. 15 of their 45 wins.
Wow.
Got a great start from Travis Wood today, did the Reds. 2 runs on 2 hits in 7 innings. Olivo, like Spilborghs, battling Mota. George, when an inning elongates like this, and you're that guy in the bullpen getting yourself ready, how do you pace yourself?
Well, because you get 8 more pitches when you get out of this bullpen. You come out onto the field. So once you're loose, just shut it down. When you see a manager pop out, you can throw 2 or 3 quick fastballs, a couple of sliders, and then you've got 8 more when you get out on the mound because your body, your tempo's used to that.
That's what Houston Street's doing. Watching the action as Miggy drives it to right center field. Spilly on his horse. Ball gets away from Roll. Spilborghs will score. Olivo has triple number 5. 5-3 Rockies. 2 great at bats. And Miguel Olivo, if he's not an all-star, it'll be a crime.
39 RBIs now for Miguel. He takes a fastball at 94 miles an hour. 17th pitch of the inning, and he's faced 2 batters. And Olivo adds on to this Rockies lead with a line drive in right center field. Both taken off after the baseball, rolling in sure holes, but they're not going to catch it. Olivo slips, but yet still gets all the way to third base, looking over his shoulder, and the head first slide.
That's the second triple of the ball game for the Rockies. They lead the National League in 2 baggers with 25. Listen to the guys, George, who have more triples than Miguel Olivo. Shane Victorino, Stephen Drew, and Jose Reyes. I think they're all a little quicker than Miguel.
All quicker, although Miguel runs great for a catcher.
He sure
ain't
does.
as quick as those 3 guys. By the way, Jeremy Affeldt set down when they went behind by 2, and Rensler is up now for the Giants in their bullpen.
Clint Barmes with a chance to expand the advantage. Another good night for Clint at the plate. He's got 2 hits and a run batted in. Fowler with 3 hits. Olivo and Barmes 2 apiece among the 11 for the Rockies. The Giants have to bring their infield in. Did he go too far? He did, said Ted Barrett. Strike 1. Rockies trying to hand the Giants their 6th straight loss. Little tapper. Here comes Olivo. Huff's throw to the plate. Kicked away out of the glove of Posey, who wanted nothing to do with the contact. Down to second goes Barmes. 6-3 Rockies.
He didn't want to absorb any shock of that throw or that collision at the plate. He just took the glove and stuck it out. And Olivo, being a catcher and a very good veteran catcher at the big league level, you watch and see as Posey gets way out in front of this plate, he's not going to take any shot whatsoever. He just tried to take the glove. But all of this coming into home plate area, you can see hit right on the shin of Olivo, and that just moved him completely out of the way, and Olivo comes back to get the bat.
A 3-run lead for the Rockies now, and Clint went down to second on the play. Still waiting for the scoring on it. I would think you have to give Barmes an RBI.
Well, I would agree with that. It would be 40 on the season.
And they're not. Fielder's choice and an error on Posey. No RBI, but Barmes gets the run in, and he got to second base as John Herrera will now bat left-handed and take strike 1. Oh, a little bit of A scratch on the right knee of Miguel Olivo that they'll have to get a bandage on.
Those raspberries, once you get them, it seems like they never heal.
Isn't that the truth? Foul off the mask of Posey. 2 strikes.
"21 pitches in this game for Moda. Ray, the right-hander, just acquired from the Texas Rangers, went up and thrown.
Herrera with a hit tonight. Trying to slice it down the left field line. Torres gets there and takes away extra bases. If that's Pat Burrell, that might be an inside the park home run.
Well, I think it would be. I think he would be off to the races, obviously.
Good play by Torres, who's a center fielder by trade, but can play all the positions. Bruce Bochy's going to make a pitching change with Giambi coming to the plate. Nice effort by Andres Torres. So the Rockies, with a 3-run lead, will look for warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by the Courtyard by Marriott on the 16th Street Mall. Call 303-571-1114 and ask about our hometown sports package.
Runzler, big time arm coming in on the mound for this ball club. Runzler's fastball, 91-98. Curveball up to 81, slider at 87, a 4-pitch mix, 32nd game to appear in. Earned run average at home, 0.55 over 16 and a third innings. Out on the road, a 7.15 earned run average, a tendency to get wild, 19 walks in his appearances this year.
And he'll get Jason Giambi pinch hitting for Rafael Betancourt. Good rip by Jason for strike 1 on the foul ball. 213 overall. You see the numbers as a pinch hitter. 3 home runs for Jason. 15 RBIs, 4 of them in the pinch. Rockies with a 2 spot here in the 8th to lead by 3. 1 ball, 1 strike on Giambi. Outside corner, it's a strike for Ted Barrett at 95 from Runzler. Good take a look at Barmes out there at second. 2-2.
Giambi a lot like Clint Hurdle. What I mean by that, folks, his average 213, but with runners in scoring position over 300 at 304.
And is learning that attitude necessary to be pretty much a full-time pinch hitter for the first time in his career. He told us last week after the home run off Jonathan Papelbon that said it took me a while to find a rhythm both mentally and physically to prepare to be a late inning pinch hitter.
Late inning pinch hitter going to a new league. Been in the American League for so long. By the way, I said a lot like Clint Hurdle, a lot like Clint Barmes. Average around 200, runners in scoring position 300. Man, I tell you what, the Rockies hitters this inning have had some huge at-bats, long at-bats.
29th pitch of the inning about to happen from Runzler. 22 pitches thrown by Mota. He's charged with the 2 runs, depending on the scoring, whether they're both earned or one is unearned. Jason fought off a good pitch there. And part of the process, George, you extend the innings. It maybe Mota and or Runzler not quite as sharp later on in this 4-game set.
Buys you time for tomorrow. You don't know how long these guys can go, and what Jim Tracy could do with his ball club.
3-2.
Sharp breaking slider, just nowhere near to the plate to entice a swing.
Talked about it. Over on the radio side, we had a trivia question. Jason Giambi's in the top 50 all time in walks.
That's amazing for a power hitter.
And he's going to get a base hit up the middle. Barmes will score easily. 7-3 Rockies. Giambi delivers again. Big fist pump to the dugout.
As there should be. That's one thing that Giambi brings, energy as a pinch hitter and as a guy standing around in the dugout early in ball games talking to these young hitters to help them get through some time. He did a nice job here. Got a fastball up at 95 miles an hour and just shot it right by Runzler into the outfield. Clint was off to the races, and it's time for Jack to invite people for tacos.
We've got tacos, fans. The Rockies have scored the runs necessary. Don't forget to go to your participating Colorado Taco Bell location tomorrow between 4 and 6 p.m. Get your Rockies Tacos special. Now that's a steal. Dexter Fowler, a 3-for-4 night. There's Tim Lincecum, who will get the call tomorrow night for the Giants against the Rockies, who have swung the bats to the tune of 7 runs on a dozen hits tonight. And the fan with his hat in the upper deck in the first row made a great catch. How about that? Is people around him are thrilled. 2 strikes on Dexter. There's our guy. Watch this.
All the people underneath are going, I got it, all right,
Yeah.
oh, we're great. And all of a sudden, reaches out and then snatches it with the hat.
That's great. 2-2 on Fowler. And he didn't lose the hat. Even more important for him now, he's checking it. And I think it's okay, because I'm glad I didn't go over.
Yeah.
Got him. But the Rockies do major damage. A 3-run 8th. The 9th is next. Rockies looking to beat the Giants.
Fowler breaking out in a big way tonight. We're also going to talk about Volley Madison. Madison Bumgarner knocked around a little bit by the Rockies. And 9 times. That's how many straight games Clint Barmes has had a hit. 9 times. If you've seen Ferris Bueller, then you feel me, Jack.
I do.
9 times.
9 times.
9 times. That's what's coming up, Jack.
Well, how about we hand the ball over to Houston Street to close out this ball game? 5th appearance for Houston. 4-1 record, 1-1 in save opportunities, 4.15 earned run average over that span. 4 strikeouts yet to walk, and 4 1/3.
Giants have not lost 6 in a row since early last season in the 2nd week of April. But after playing very good baseball into the early weeks of June, it has been a struggle of late, and the Rockies want to keep that slide going. Buster Posey, who hit a home run his last time up, also singled and scored in the 2nd inning, will be the first man Houston Street sees. Shearholtz and then a pinch hitter will follow for the Giants. First pitch is right there from Houston Street. I don't know who looks younger, Bumgarner or Posey.
They both look very young.
Buster, a Seminole out of Florida State. He is right to the hit on a dive by Melvin Moore. Boy, he whacked another one hard, and Melvin makes a fine play at third.
Melvin Moore has had to make more than just this play tonight, and he makes this one relatively easy. And it was hit very hard by Posey, and it's all about a reaction, recognize that ball's going to curve to you, and then Melvin able to dive and catch the baseball. How about the force at second early in the ball game, and he backhanded from the knees and the snap throw to second to Johnny Herrera.
He's played very well defensively at third base. Of course, that's where the bulk of his big league experience has been. He was the regular third baseman for many seasons for the Orioles. Nate Shearholtz, a single in 3 tries. One ball, 1 strike. Travis Ishikawa, another left-handed batter, is on deck. He'll bat for Runsler. Swing and a miss on that off speed. Actually, a little harder than I thought, George. I got to give Houston some credit. I just kind of that fluid motion, and then I looked up and saw it was at 89.
Well, that's the thing about it, and it has a lot of sink to it. And the slider, when he's up on top of it, he's been up as hard as 84, 85. So he's very close to being back exactly where he was. Velocity of the fastball is there. One thing he does, he pounds the zone, he keeps the ball down in the zone, which causes a lot of those 1, 2, 3 outs. Last year, 23 of 35 saves, 1, 2, 3 outs.
That's strike 3 and out number 2. The slider George was talking about. Good bite to it for the strikeout.
Put it right where he needed to and wanted to. Ishikawa is going to come on now to try to do something for the Giants against Houston Street.
First game in Denver this year between these two clubs. The Rockies went 3-3 in the first 2 series in San Francisco. They try and find themselves in a better position within the division. They were under 500 last year in the division. A win tonight would put them 3 over. Ishikawa having a great year as a pinch hitter. The Giants pinch hitters lead the National League. 2-0 on the left-handed hitting first baseman by trade, although again he is not seeing a lot of work except as a pinch hitter. Two and one now to count on him. 20th pinch hit appearance in 49 games, so that tells you he's become their left-handed pinch hitter off the bench.
A lot of times too, Bruce Bochy likes to use him at first base as a defensive guy when they're ahead 2 in the 9th inning. Very slick fielding first baseman.
He's worked the count to 3-1. Rowan would bat if he keeps the inning going, but this should end it. Carlos cruises underneath it. That's the ball game. The Rockies come home to start a 10-game homestand, and they do it in grand style as they beat the Giants 7-3. Here's our delivery of the game, brought to you by Jimmy John's. This gave the Rockies a lead they wouldn't relinquish. The hustle of Miguel Olivo, forcing a bad throw by Edgar Renteria. That got him to second base. And Clint Barmes, so effective over the last 6 weeks, knocks in a run that broke the tie to give Aaron Cook the win.